The biggest problem with this virus isn't that it's a virus. The virus is the delivery system. The harm comes from these abnormally folded proteins that are called prions. This is an example of what the spike protein looks like if you blow it up. And while we know that there's been human inserts for what's called the PRRA region, and we know that there's HIV glycoprotein 120 that's been inserted into it, which by itself is a prion, we know that when these were put into the spike protein molecule itself, it changed the top part of the spike protein, the area that attaches to your cells, called the regional binding domain. This abnormal protein here is called a prion-like domain. What does it do to people? Well, we know what it does to animals. After 2 weeks, 95% of the mice that were injected with this died. And when we looked at the brains of the mice, this is what we saw. This is normal brain. This is the area that's infected by the prion. It looks like a sponge. And so in medicine, we call this spongiform encephalopathy, or a brain that looks like a sponge. In general terms, this is mad cow disease. When rhesus macaques were used, and those are primate models, monkeys that are very similar to humans, and we use them to best know what will happen to people, the areas of their brain that were damaged shows up here. And when we looked at it under a microscope, it shows inflammation, blood clotting, and Lewy bodies, these areas that are the types of prion diseases that produce Alzheimer's disease and a number of other neurologic diseases. The ultimate bioweapon isn't a virus, it's a prion. It produces damage, and you can see in tissue brain cells, this red stained area are prions moving from one neuron to another neuron, producing this sponge or mad cow disease, shrinking brains, and it's passed from something that has a prion to something that doesn't.